Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troll.
(1973 to 1976). Welcome back, baseball fans. The 1973-76 Carryover League Wildcard round. We go to the National League today. We have a game between the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Atlanta Braves. This is a battle of the number 5 Braves top wild card, and the Arizona Diamondbacks, the expansion team winner in the Mountain Time Zone, which awards either Colorado, Arizona, Las Vegas, or Portland a division each year. Most of the time they get bounced in the first round. Let's talk about Atlanta first, though. Atlanta is no stranger to the playoffs. They once were a top seed and got bounced in the first round. One and done. Then they came in as a wild card a year ago and went all the way to the League Championship Series, losing to the Big Red Machine. So you've seen different paths in previous years for the Braves, plus missing the playoffs, competing with the Mets and Phillies in the East. And they have the same cast, that great 73 offense and the 74 pitching. Arizona is the new kid on the block, a team that has not won the Mountain Time Zone division in the last 6 years until now. A team that stunningly started 0-10 and then went 19-6 after that to win that division, making them the number 4 seed division winner. All the expansion teams, let's take a look at the division, just to look at the division lineup for a moment here. All 4 of these teams, of course, do not exist in the 1970s, but we like to identify them in a strategy, in a drafting strategy, and a roster assembly strategy, so that they seem to have a consistent plan year to year to year to year. In the case of the Colorado Rockies, they go after the long ball. They go after homers, walks, and strikeouts. They don't care about anything else. Think of it as the Dante Bichette effect of the early 90s, or the Ellis Burks effect, or Shawan Dunston. Am I misremembering that? Did he not hit like 30 home runs for the Rockies after he once played for the Cubs? I don't know. I got to look that up here. I just want to remember this either the right way or the wrong way. Well, maybe. Let's see if he played. Did he play for Colorado? I thought he did. Did he not? Am I misremembering that? No, he never played for the Colorado Rockies. I screwed that up. All right, we know Bichette did, though, right? Dad. This guy. There it is. Yeah, so this guy hit 40 homers one year in Colorado. And on that team, I'm going to guess you probably had a bunch of 40 home run hitters on that team, did you not? Oh, you had Vinny Castilla. There you go. Vinny Castilla, the Big Cat, Andre Galarraga, Larry Walker, of course. Yeah, so So the Rockies build their team after homers. Vegas has won the division the last couple years. Building defense, finding cheap 1s and 2s defensively, like the Aurelio Rodriguez, Ed Brinkman, Mike Anderson, Ken Berries, and just make an impenetrable defense that supports the pitching staff with weak hitting. And that's what Vegas's plan is. Portland just simply goes with whatever is left over. The best player they can find it. They don't care what they're doing. They just want to find the best player when it's their time to call. Which leaves Arizona, and they are the team that goes with batting average. They like guys who simply hit for a high average, and that's what they seek out first and foremost. On this roster, as a matter of fact, I can go through some averages here. Stevie Ray Braun hits 302. Hal Breeden hits 275, but it's a nice card with walks, as is Merv Retmans. Dave May hits 303. John Knox hits 307. Mike Vail hits 302. Mike Hegan used to hit 329. He's now hitting 243. They got Bruce Miller hitting 278 on the bench. Normally they have better hitters than that. But like I said, they started 0-10, and then they dusted the Dodgers. I should bring those games up. Boy, they're fun ones. If I can find these Dodger games. So they embarrassed the LA Dodgers in staggering fashion. I'm going to show you some quick box score numbers here. It's easy to do this. So they beat the Dodgers 6-5. Okay, that's 6 runs. And they did that on Don Sutton. Then they won 9-6. They did that to Andy Messersmith. Holy cow. Then they won 8-7. They beat Tommy John on that one. 6, 9, and 8. Oh my goodness. These are the best Dodger pitchers. Then they another 8-6. This was on Joe Decker, former Twin. Okay. And then in the 5th consecutive game here, look at this. Don Sutton 2. Second time against Don Sutton. A 9-burger. They pretty much knocked Don Sutton out of the Cy Young Award. I mean, Arizona's just like got the offense going, and that's what got them. And in the last game, they were shut out. So 1 out of 6 games was a dud, but yeah. Let's go take a look at what's happened. Game 1. Game 1, Braves at Arizona, sold out Snake Stadium in Joshua Tree. That's where we put the team back in the 70s, fictionally. Completely sold out. They got people standing on cactuses just trying to, it's SRO, you know, just trying to see this miraculous 0-10 team. So in this one, it's Phil Niekro versus Reggie Cleveland, the ace of each squad. Second inning, you get a Davey Johnson homer, one of 3 Atlanta hitters with 40 bombs, 1 zip. Bottom of the 4th, you get a Dave May single, and then with 2 outs, you get an Ed Herman RBI single. We're tied. 1-1 in the 5th. After a couple outs, Ralph Garr singles. Gets caught stealing with 2 outs, and you're thinking at the time, do you really need to steal bases against Arizona? They're otherwise a pretty feeble team. Why not just stay at first and just let Baker and Aaron and Johnson and Evans just swing away? Something to think about as that inning ended. So in the bottom of that same inning, after an out, you get a Steve Braun walk. You get a Hal Breeden triple, it's 2-1. You get a Dave May homer, it's 4-1. A single, a double, a 2-run single, it is 6. A 2-run homer by Dave May in the 6th off of Niekro. A solo homer off of Ron Schuler out of the bullpen in the 8th. And Arizona once again throws up a 9 spot, embarrassing the Braves 9-1 in Game 1. How about that, folks? The very first playoff game in Snake Stadium down in Joshua Tree, and they win it. They win a game. We've never seen a Mountain Time Zone team win a playoff series, but they've won a game. That's a start for the Arizona Diamondbacks here against a really good Atlanta team that has been in the League Championship Series. The crazy Game 2 is next. Oh my goodness. This crazy, weird game. George Stone. So Atlanta decides, let's throw a lefty against these guys, because I don't think they're as good against lefties as righties. Versus Bob Moose, former Pirate, who at this point of his career starts to struggle versus left-handed batters. Top of the 1st, you get an RBI single, Darrell Evans, 1-0. Leading off in the bottom of the 1st, Pedro Garcia Lorca only plays versus lefties. Dinger! It's 1-1. Top of 2nd, Johnny Oates. Dinger! Solo shot, Braves. It's 2-1. We go to the 4th. Walk, single, your dreaded bases loaded walk, and a run-scoring double play. It's 4-1 Atlanta, and you're thinking, okay, this is where Atlanta starts to separate. Bottom of the 5th inning, Arizona has a chance here. They have 3 singles, but they can only convert 1 run out of it. It's 4-2. They had a 5th run in the 6th inning off of Bob Moose to make it 5-2. Moose leaves after 7 innings, 10 hits to 5 runs. Bottom of the 7th inning, George Stone, trying to protect a 5-2 lead, gives up a single, a walk. Point of weakness is pulled, and Atlanta says, you know what, we still don't think these guys can hit lefties. Let's follow the lefty George Stone with another lefty Mike Beard, and then another lefty Tom House after that, if it comes to it. Okay. Well, Mike Vail hits a base-clearing triple to tie the game at 5. Then Mike Hegan hits a triple to give him a 6-5 lead. There's a walk, a pop-out, a single, a strikeout, a double, and a walk in there. And yes, it is 8-5 Snakes again. Snakes on everything, folks. 8-5 Snakes. They're going absolutely bonkers in Joshua Tree. Yeah, 8-5. But in the 9th, oh boy. They start the inning with the lefty Darryl Knowles, and the closer is Tom Johnson, who actually has 12 saves this year. Darryl Knowles faces Dusty Baker. It's a home run. It's 8-6. Then in the 3 spot, it is, I guess it's Correll. I forget no, Correll's in Johnny O's spot. That's right. It's Leon. Leon gets out. So there's 1 out. He needs 2 more outs to preserve an 8-6 win. Hank Aaron, dinger! 8-7. Darrell Evans, dinger! We're tied 8-8. 3 home runs in the 9th inning. 1 off of Knowles, 2 off of Tom Johnson. Davey Johnson singles. Vic Correll, 2-run dinger. It's 10-8. 10-8. Unreal. Arizona gave it away. Gave away an 8-5 win and a chance to be up 2-0 at home. Tom House closes out the 9th inning. The final score is Atlanta 10, Arizona 8. Your Diamondbacks, folks, is this your new team? Is this your new flavor, the Diamondbacks? They had 19 hits today. 8 runs, 19 hits. They walked 4 times. Could not get the W, however, as the bullpen collapsed in the 9th. As young teams are prone to do, they're going to make mistakes, and well, can't do that. You can't pretend you're a playoff team if you're going to give games away like that. So we go to Hotlanta for a game 3. Jeff Zahn versus Buzz Capra. Injuries play an important role in this game. So they're Arizona, the lineup they use against righties that got them in a hot streak. Maybe it was an oversight, but for some reason they flip-flopped Mike Hegan and Ed Herman 7 and 8 in the lineup. Why does that matter? Because Mike Hegan rolled an injury on his card that would not have been an injury for the Ed Herman card. He's out with an injury, so they have to go to a right-handed hitter to replace him against righty-dominant Buzz Capra. We get some unearned runs in this game. We get a 2-base error on Ralph Garr that leads to 2 Arizona runs, but we get an error on Ed Herman, which leads to an RBI. The game is tied at 2. Bottom of the 7th. Zahn is pulled because of the injury to one of the left-handed bats. Which was it? Darrell Evans. Darrell Evans got injured for Atlanta, and Mike Hegan got injured for Arizona. So with 5 consecutive right-handed batters scheduled, they go to Dick Bainey, a righty reliever who is, in air quotes, good against righties. Rico Carty singles on his own card. Hank Aaron triples off of the Bainey card to make it a 4-3. Then a sac fly Davey Johnson. The sac fly Davey Johnson makes it 4-3. They get an RBI triple by Rico Carty in the 8th to make it 5-3. And Buzz Capra finishes the game because Arizona only has 3 left-handed batters left in this lineup, and Capra dominates right-handed batters. So they didn't even need the bullpen. Buzz Capra, complete game, 9 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, only 1 was earned. Finally quieting the Arizona offense. And the Braves win 2 straight games, setting up a potential elimination game today at home in friendly Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Braves need to win this game. If they lose, Game 5 is back in Joshua Tree. We expect lots of offense, folks. We got the number 4 starters. And we expect some wild card. I mean, if you're going to have wild card, have wild teams in it. In Arizona and Atlanta, they're wild. They're wild and untamed. They don't necessarily win a lot of games, but they play wild games with lots of runs, lots of errors, and just bizarre substitutions and pitching changes that don't work and things of that nature. So, from Atlanta, let's get started. Leading off, I didn't give you your pitchers. Bruce Del Canton is pitching for the Diamondbacks. He was a Kansas City Royal in '74. He was 8-10, but he's got a 3.14 ERA and 175 innings. That's a nice little Bruce Del Canton card. And Atlanta will send Bill Good Grief. Actually, didn't even pitch for Atlanta. He was a free agent, signed away from the Padres. Bill also pitched a little bit for the Cardinals. In '73, he had a 3.21 ERA and 199 innings. Both are starter 7s. We think both might be gone before the 7th if the offense lights it up. This is elimination baseball for Arizona, so they might have to play a little bit more risky so as not to go home. It's been a wild ride for Arizona, so they're playing with house money, folks, and that could mean a lot. Leading off for the Diamondbacks is Merv Retman. 53 rolls the first. Stevie Ray Braun, 410, flies the center X. This is Dusty Baker, a 2E6, makes the catch. And Hal Breeden, 512, he strikes out. Bottom of the first. It's Ralph Garr. 2-6 is a base hit. A stealer, but again, why run out of an inning when you've got this incredible offense behind you? He'll stay put at first for Dusty Baker. 66, single 1-6, and he lines out. Frank Tepedino, 46, is single 1-14. He misses it. So 2 big breaks for Del Canton early here. And it's Hank Aaron. 3/8 a walk. 2 on, 2 outs for Darrell Evans. He got injured in game 2. Should say game 3. But they still won. 45, pops to second base. Top of 2, it's Dave May. 6-11, pitcher X. Grief is an E7. He makes the play. John Knox, 312, Lomax. Mike Vail, 62, a comebacker to the mound. Bottom of 2, it's Davey Johnson. 3-6, flies to left. Rico Suave, 2-9, pops short, and with 2 outs. Marries at Oates, Johnny Oates, grounds the third. We go to the third. Easy Ed Herman, 47's a base hit. Now I got Hegan in the 8 spot where he has been all year. 65, flies to center. Mario Mendoza, 48, single 1-6. He gets it. 2 on, back up top to Merv Retman. 58 is a K, and with 2 outs, Stevie Ray Braun, 67's a liner to third. Arizona's pretty tight after losing 2 straight suddenly. Marty Perez, 65, flies to center. Ralph Garr, 46, 1-14 is a base hit. Dusty Baker, 58, short X. This is Mendoza, 2E30. It's a GBA. The one thing about Arizona, when they get this offense cranking, it's usually one humongous inning. They are a bat-around team. And I've seen it in the 5th, in the 7th. They get 6 of their 8 runs they would score in one particular inning. They're not a team that just, dots up individual runs throughout a game. And that's the what we're looking at right now. Into the 4th. Is this the bat-around inning? Hal Breeden. 3-7. Let's take a look at this card. He has been on fire for this team. He was their all-star representative He played for the Expos in 73 with a 275 average, 15 homers and 258 at-bats, throwing 30 walks, throwing the 6 triples, which puts a triple flat out on the roll of 3-7. This is a great looking card. That is a triple. Now you got Dave May. 2 9s, a base hit for Dave May, and the Snakes grab a 1-0 lead. John Knox, 55, second X. Better make a play here. You don't want to ignite a bat-around inning here, Davy Johnson. To 3:34 at second. It's a GBC. Runner moves up for Mike Vail, 58 Ks. And Ed Herman, 1-7 is a K. Bill Grief does not fall for the trap of a bat-around inning, and it's just 1-0. Frank Tepedino, 67 is a K. Hank Aaron, 6'10", third X. Not good at all defensively at third. Awful, actually. 4-37, that's a base hit. They have no solution at third base at all. Best you can do is 4-37 amongst 3 different guys. Yeah, that's 4 different guys, if you include Bill Plummer at third base. Bill Plummer's on the short list of defensive help at third base, and he's Johnny Bench's backup normally. So, Darrell Evans, 5'10", catcher's X. This is Herman, a 3E12. Pass ball, runner in scoring position. For Davy Johnson, 2-3, grounds to short. Quiet affair, 1-0 in Atlanta. Where are the fireworks at? Mike Hegan, 2-8. Triple 1-3, base hit for Mike. Now you got Mario Mendoza, 37's a K. Merv Retman, 2-8 is a 6-4-3 double play. The Snakes are cold. Well, they would be cold-blooded. Bottom of the 5th, 1-0 visitors. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
Highly unlikely 1-0 game where even though Del Canton's a starter 7, not exactly sure how long they will go with him as he's pitching over his ability here. Daryl Knowles and Tom Johnson have not been great. They've been good enough, I guess, but you saw them blow the game too. They've had some other problems as well. Dick Bainey and Steve Stone aren't much either. Again, it's an expansion team who got an invitation because they play in a division where somebody gets an invitation. Probably not one of the best 6 teams in the National League. Bottom of the 5th, Rico Carty, 49, second X. 4E30 at second base. That's a base hit. Johnny Oates, 57's a K. Marty Perez, 67 is a K. Ralph Garr, 46, single 1 of 14. Gets it this time. 2 on, 2 outs for Johnny Baker. 1-7, let's take a look at Johnny B. Baker. Johnny Baker, Johnny Dusty Baker. One of his last good years in Atlanta. 73, 21 homers, a 288 average, a 2 with a -3 arm, and an ace stealer. Really does everything with Atlanta. He won't do all this wonderful stuff when he's a Dodger, though he might hit for more home runs when he's a Dodger. But, and he won't be playing center field anymore for the Dodgers. He'll be playing left field. But still, kind of 2 great careers he had, the Atlanta career and the Dodger career. 1-7, homer 1-9, double the rest, misses the dinger, settles for the double, 1 run scores. Garr, he's going to fly around, and he will score from first on the double, and the Braves take a 2-1 lead. Frank Tepedino, 48, is a walk, and you didn't want to do that. Hank Aaron. Again, you really can't conceivably rescue Del Canton with anything better, so he's got to pitch through this. Hank Aaron, he's been pitching well until this inning. 2 on, 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Hank Aaron. 3-7 is a K. He struck Hank He struck Hammer and Hank out. Wow, that's a big out. Makes it just 2-1. Del Canton hung in there. He has put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 men on. Only 2 have scored. Really, Atlanta has 3 more base runners and 1 more run. Grief now has a chance to get the win. In the top of the 6th, it'll be Stevie Ray Braun. 3-6, let's take a look at Stevie Ray Braun and the Texas Flood. Oh my goodness, Stevie. 1975, a 302 average, 515 plate appearances for the Twins. That's a full boat. Now, they stuck him in a bunch of different positions. Probably designated hitter should be in here. And that was the knack. I mean, he just couldn't field at all, really. And that's why he became just a pinch hitter in the National League later on. 3-6, homer 1-14. That's a double. He misses it. Just like Baker missed his. Braun's at second for the dangerous Hal Breeden. 2-3, center. Dave May. 6-12, a comebacker into the mound. And with 2 outs, it's John Knox. What a great baseball name. John Knox, he doesn't knock this one. He hits a slow roller to shortstop, and the inning is over. Oh, Arizona, suddenly in a slump. Leadoff man, the last 2 innings could not get him in. Bottom of the 6th, Del Canton continues. It's Darrell Evans. 2-2 is a K plus an injury. He's been injured in 2 of the 4 games. So, how do they do this again? They bring in Cabell. Yeah, Cabell's on the bench. He'll just go play third base. Cabell eventually plays third base for the Astros later in the decade, and the Tigers after that, I believe. So 1 out, Davey Johnson. 67 is a K. And with 2 outs, it's Rico Suave. 4-10, pops to first. We got a pitcher stool for you, folks. Very competitive game again. 2-1. Top of the 7th, Bill Grief. I tell you what, you cannot let him lose this game. And you have Tom House to weaponize. Is this a 3-inning save for Tom House in a game 4 with a couple days off before the divisional round? Could very well be. You also have Mike Beard. He's a good lefty reliever as well. The righties, Schuler and Devine, aren't so much. You know, the thing is, Mike Vale's actually better against righties than lefties. I think you make the move now, but let's do Beard. This is what they tried to do in game 2, and it blew up, but they ultimately won anyway. So they're going to do the same thing. They pulled Stone after 6 and 3 batters. They're just going to pull Grief now after 6. And they're going to go to Mike Beard. Let's take a look at him. One of 2 dynamite lefties on this team. They don't want House to get 9 outs. But they stick by the notion that the lefties give Arizona trouble. And Mike Beard, 4-0 with a 3.21 ERA in 1975 and 70 innings. And he will face Mike Vale. Hold on, let's put this in here now. Here's the pitch to Mike Vale. 37's a K. Now you got Ed Herman. He'll probably leave the game. Yep. As a left-handed catcher, he doesn't hit lefties very well. And you know what? Bringing in Bill Plummer makes some sense because chances are by the 9th inning, if he bats again, he'll face Tom House. So it'll be Bill Plummer. 2-5, grounds the 3rd. And with 2 outs, it's Mike Hegan. He's already against lefties. He'll swing away. 112, grounds the 3rd base. Speedy game in Atlanta. Not a conventional game. Not a high-scoring Atlanta launching pad kind of game. A nice strategic pitching battle here. 2-1 affair for the Braves, who are 6 outs away from going to the divisional series. Stretch time here in Atlanta. And we are enjoying, well, we're listening to Little Feat. We always listen to Little Feat when the Braves are playing. I don't know why. It just sounds like a good thing to do. Mostly because they have such a huge catalog of music. You can always switch it up all the time. We got Feats Don't Fail Me Now from 74, second year of our timeline. Oh, Atlanta. There you go. That's on here. Rock and Roll Doctor. Spanish Moon. Could this be the best LP? I think commercially this is probably the best one. If you were, if you're on a desert island with only one Little Feat record, you'd probably take this one. I'd probably take the first one, personally. That's my thing. It's more of a stripped down guitar blues kind of record. This has got a lot of great production in it. And my goodness, oh yeah, Cole's in here as well. Feats Don't Fail Me Now, Spanish Moon, wow. Yeah, hard to argue against this one, folks. 74s, Feats Don't Fail Me Now, do not fail Atlanta. They can smell this thing. They got 6 outs to get and a chance to pad their lead here in the bottom of the 7th. And Bruce Delcan's going to go back out there for a team that's doesn't have a great bullpen. He'll face at least the bottom of this lineup, beginning with Johnny Oates. 48 is a walk. And now you got Marty Perez, who actually hits better than Johnny Oates. 55 is a base hit to center off Del Canton, and trouble is brewing, and I think that's going to be it. And I think you have to go out with, in air quotes, your best, and that means it's Daryl Knowles time for Arizona. So that's it for Del Canton, a 2-1 game. About to hit the point of weakness, and you got Murderer's Row, Gar, Baker, 314 hitting Tepedino, Aaron Evans, and Davey Johnson. So you got to go to one of the best pitchers on your team. It's Daryl Knowles. His 76 Chicago Cub card, 5-7, 288 ERA in 72 innings. Has not had the greatest of years, nor has Tom Johnson. Though Tom Johnson has collected saves because they've been in so many save situations for this team, who has been red hot since that 0-10 start. But Daryl Knowles will come on in the 7th. First and second, nobody out. And it's Ralph Gar, who will be swinging away in this situation, of course. Not one to... You don't like the bunt 353 hitters. So, yeah, he'll swing away. Here's the pitch to Ralph Gar. 69 off Knowles, you walked him. And the bases are loaded. And, oh my goodness, Arizona is stepped into a bunch of it here. They got you-know-what in one hand and no toilet paper in the other. Daryl Knowles, bases loaded, nobody out. I'm looking at ground ball Bs on the Baker card, and I see a few of them, so let's bring the infield up, see if I can catch one of those. They're going to bring the infield up for Dusty Baker, trying to hold on to a 2-1 lead. Here's the pitch. 59 is second C. That will score the run. Runners move up. And batting for Frank Tepedino will be Eddie Leone, who will take over at shortstop. Perez will go to second. Davey Johnson goes to DH. Here's your pitch to Eddie Leone. 52, flies to left. Whoops, fly to left B. Would have been a sac fly, but there's nobody at third. And Hank Aaron. Now, you could, before Hank Aaron steps in the box, you could, because you got Cabell behind him, Davey Johnson. Yeah, you don't have the deep lefties were Gar and getting Tepedino out. That was Knowles' mission. But now, and Tom Johnson's a relief for. Hank Aaron destroys lefties, of course. And Daryl Knowles has been shaky. Behind Aaron, you could walk Aaron and face Cabell with a righty as well. Actually, Cabell's terrible against lefties, too. I think I'm just going to walk Hank Aaron here. Intentionally walk Hank Aaron because Cabell is only a 241 hitter. I'd much rather deal with Enos Cabell here. In a 3-1 game, but you got the bases loaded and 2 outs. And here's the pitch to Enos Cabell. 110 is a pop to short. So not bad. They give up the 1 run with the bases loaded on an infield, a ground ball C with the infield up. The way I play that, if you're wondering, is a home field advantage is that it's indeed a ground ball C for the home team, but for the road team, it's they're out at the plate. So the home team catches the guy at the plate. The road team just couldn't get out of the glove and has to make the play at first. So that's sort of a home field advantage I built into the game. And technically, if you want to look at it a little bit deeper, assuming he got thrown out the plate, the next batter would hit a sac fly. So anyway, it's 3-1 as we go to the 8th inning. Mike Beard with 6 outs to get, with Tom House warming. Mendoza, Bretman, Braun. Yeah, there's no reason to pull this guy. No more defense to bring in. Eddie Leon's at short. Cardy's at first, who was DH, and Davey Johnson moves to the DH spot. So it's Mario Mendoza leading off. Actually, you could pinch hit for him. Yeah, let's pinch hit. Bruce Miller will bat for Mario Mendoza here in the 8th. 5-12 is a walk. Back up top to Merv Retman. 38, single one to 3, line out to short, and he lines out to short. That's a tough break for Merv. Now you got Stevie Ray Braun. Missed a homer chance earlier. Here's the pitch to Stevie Ray Braun. 1-4 is fly ball to center. And with 2 outs, it's Hal Breeden. Breeden is much better against righties than lefties. So here's the pitch to Hal Breeden. 47 is a base hit in the center field. You have 2 on. And Dave May, and you know what? I'm of the opinion here that you pull him after getting 5 outs. And I'm going to follow him up with another lefty. But the reason is I'm not going to let Beard lose this game. If you're going to beat Atlanta, you're going to have to beat the best they have, and that's Tom House. So it's a replacement of lefty relievers. Again, we think this team is much better against righties. That'll get Pedro Garcia in the game on the on-deck circle. But Tom House will come on in the 8th inning with 2 men on and 2 outs, with a 3-1 lead, and face the dangerous Dave May. Let's take a look at the Dave May card. One of his best years. I think he came up in Baltimore's system, then he ended up on the Brewers. I think he played for the Atlanta Braves as well. The 73 card's probably the best of his career, as he does everything. He's a 2 with a -2 arm, good base runner, 25 homers and a .303 average, had 680 plate appearances. He and George Scott were 1 and 2 on that team. 2 best players on the 73 Brewers. Not much difference between each. So here's your pitch to Dave May with 2 on and 2 outs versus Tom House. Here's the pitch. 1-7 is a strikeout, and House gets out of it, trying to convert a 4-out save. Bottom of the 8th. It's Johnson, Cardy, Oates, and Perez. I don't want Cardy swinging against a lefty. Davey Johnson, it doesn't matter too much. We'll let Knowles face Davey Johnson, who's a little bit better against righties. 38 is a ground ball to short. And that'll be it for Knowles. We'll go to Tom Johnson. Or actually, do we go back to Bainey here? Let's go to Bainey. Bainey does give up homers. He lost the previous game, but they weren't homers. They were just the triple chance off his card. So Dick Bainey in 31 innings had a .290 ERA for your Cincinnati Reds in 1973. That's a good, some good stats. But of course, the Cincinnati Reds aren't going to have room to protect him when they're protecting so many other of the big red machines. So that's how he ends up on an expansion team. Dick Bainey in the 8th inning will face Rico Cardy with 1 out. Here's the pitch. 47's a K, and with 2 outs, it's Johnny Oates. 37's a single. And Marty Perez. 1-5's a walk. Did not want this. Did not want to get back up to Ralph Garr. That was a mistake. Oh boy. Here's a situation where you almost won an intentional walk, you know? You're just up against it. I mean, there's no answer here. There's not a solution to what Arizona can do in this situation. Looking at the pitcher's cards who have the fewest amount of hits on it, I'm going to go with Steve Stone for this particular batter. And then if it's a walk, then we'll go to Johnson after that. So Steve Stone's going to come in now in the 8th. As only one out was retired by Bain. He's going to face Ralph Garr in this situation. They have no more lefties. So it's got to be Steve Stone. He was 6-11 with a 4.29 ERA in 73 with the White Sox, 176 innings. Against lefties, though, doesn't give up a lot of hits. Gives up walks. We'll tolerate our walk. We don't want an RBI single. We do not want to go down by 3 if you're Arizona. Ralph Garr. Here's the pitch. 110. Let's take a look at the Ralph Garr card. So if you hit 353, this is what it looks like. The 74 Garr, 353 average, 17 triples. My goodness, a stealer. Defense is not very good. They don't care. They scored bazillion runs. Gets the 110 column. It's a base hit to right field. And it's Johnny Oates. Do you run Oates here? He's a 13. Johnny. He can run. Run, Johnny, run. He's a 13, 14, 15 against the -2 arm. A couple of former Orioles, Retman and Oates. Here's the play at the plate. 17 thrown out the plate by Merv Retman, who had another assist in Game 1 as well. He's had 2 assists in this series with a -2 arm in right field. That's a big out, keeping it a 2-run game. With Dusty Baker waiting on deck. And we go to the 9th. Seems appropriate that we'll have a rally here in the 9th of some sort against Tom House. Trying to close out a 3-1 series win. It's Knox, Vale, Plummer, Hegan. Last batter on the bench is Pedro Garcia. He will pinch hit for John Knox. And here is the pitch. 56 off of House is a fly ball to left. 1 down. Now you got Mike Vale. 3-10. That's a single chance versus a righty, but against a lefty, it's a strikeout. And with 2 outs, Bill Plummer is your season, folks. That's right. Your whole season is in the hands of Johnny Bench's backup. It's not Johnny Bench. It's his backup. Bill Plummer. Let's take a look at this card, folks. You know, 74 was not very kind to the Reds. They lost the West to the Dodgers. But it was good to Bill Plummer because Bill had one of the best years of his career in Cincinnati. Above the Mendoza line with a 225 average, power against lefties, a -1 arm, homers and doubles all over the card. Offensive onslaught. Really a nice platoon player. This is, without question, the best Plummer card that I've ever seen. So, with 2 outs, here's the pitch to Bill Plummer. 3-6, he comes through with a double left field. So they have a runner in scoring position in a 3-1 game for Mike Hegan. Now let's take a look at Mike. He got injured in Game 3 against Buzz Capra, which is really disappointing because Mike Hegan has plenty of power. And he has no problem with left-handed pitching either. And he's got that championship pedigree. He's got a big, gaudy World Series ring he had for the Oakland A's. History suggests after Oakland he went to the Yankees, then he went to the Brewers. We have him going here to Arizona. And surely it has certainly helped having a clubhouse guy like that taking an also-ran and getting him to be a division winner. Mike Hegan on his 243 average step into the box against Tom House. Here's the pitch to Mike Hegan. 39 is a fly ball to center field. Dusty Baker makes the grab and the ball game's over, and Cinderella, unfortunately, is no more. They just did not produce any offense outside their own stadium. Great pitching. You could contribute the great 74 Atlanta pitching for winning the series, as it was the Buzz Capra card and now the Tom House card closing this game out that has aided the Braves in winning the series 3-1 and winning this game by a score of 3-1. We'll take this right through the postgame, folks. We do not know who the Braves will play. It's a battle of 5 and 4. And they have to wait and see what happens in the Pirates-Mets series. Tom House with a 4-out save. Struck out Dave May in a pressure moment. A hit, 2 strikeouts. Closer does what a closer is supposed to do. Mike Beard hit a walk and a K. 6 innings for Grief. He gets the win. Well, we knew between Grief and Del Canton, one of them was probably going to get a win and be the overachiever. It was Grief. 6 hits, just 1 run. No walks, 5 strikeouts. All right, Steve Stone gave up a hit, but a guy got thrown out the plate. That's great work, if you can get it. Dick Bainey struck out a batter, but he gave up a hit and a walk. And Daryl Knowles, inning and a third, he gave up a hit, a run, and 3 walks. That's what I'm telling you. It's just he's just not been that reliable this year. 6 innings and a loss for Bruce Del Canton. 6 hits and just 2 runs. That 2-run double in Baker could have been a 3-run homer. It was just a 2-run double. 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. 1019, 0108, 3918, 3918, 3918, 1867, 6718. The Diamondbacks only reached base 9 times. Braves did it 15 times. They were patient and drew some walks. So Atlanta continues to be hot. They seem to be stuck in 3rd place, far from the Phillies, and actually they were in 2nd place, just a game above the Mets, but far behind the Phillies. Then they beat the Phillies 5 out of 7 times, and things changed. After that, they knocked the Cardinals out, and they were idle, clinching a wild card while the Mets and Phillies battled for the division title. Basically, the 3 teams finished in a dead heat. But Atlanta was guaranteed a playoff spot, while the Phillies and Mets, the loser, would be out, and that was the Phillies who were out. So your Braves are now 24-16. They've scored 227 runs, given up 192. They're hitting 296 with a 4.07 ERA. Tom House has 11 saves, 2 losses. That's all right. 5 earned runs in 21 2/3 innings. 5 unearned runs in there as well. Niekro, believe it or not, just 1 complete game. Capra 2. One of those was in the playoffs for Capra. Niekro 7-4, Capra 5-3. Hank Aaron, your MVP of the National League, with 18 homers and 52 RBIs, sitting around 310. You also have a dozen homers for Davey Johnson. How's Ralph Gard doing with that big hit and the big batting average? Ralph's got 70 hits, probably leading the league. He's hitting 385. Ralph Gard, 70 for 182. He is going to be a problem in the rest of the playoffs. 24-16. And now let's take a look at the Diamondbacks. Well, they finished 20-19, but folks, they rode a 25-game streak where they were 19-6. They started 0-10, then they went 19-6, and they just dropped 3 out of 4 to Atlanta. The problems in the bullpen really hurt this team. Tom Johnson had 3 losses, 12 saves, which might be leading the league. Could have had more. 13 runs in 21 innings is not very good. That's an ERA of 6. Daryl Knowles' ERA is around 4.5. Reggie Cleveland, 7-3. He's done nice work. They're hitting 274, but the ERA is 4.64. It's going to be bad. We'll have an elimination following this. Hal Breeden, 13 homer, 33 RBI, and Dave May, 12 homer, 39 RBI. They were locks as the numbers 3 and 4 hitters, penciled in and game out with changes around them, but they were locked in all year. Breeden meant to the All-Star game. Dave May probably should have, just too much competition for that spot. 24-16. We'll plug in the results here. So, Atlanta, and this is Atlanta, check this out. This is last year. Atlanta was the number 6 seed, upset the number 3 seed, 3 games to 1. It's funny, I have to leave it in there, and yep, type that in again. But they're now a 5 seed, who beat a 4 seed, and they are 8 over 500. Don't know who they're going to play yet. We do know that it is Arizona eliminated, and you see it was Las Vegas a year ago, who was 21-19, Arizona 2019. We do not know who Arizona is going to play. Pittsburgh plays the Mets in a revenge match, in a grudge match. Ultimately, it didn't hinder the Pirates from making the playoffs. It lowered their wild card standings and took out any conceivable chance of catching the Reds. Mets beat the Pirates 4 games to 1. It really helped the Mets, who went from a 3rd place team to a wild card team to then beating the Phillies 2 out of 3 and winning the division. If the Mets beat the Pirates again, they would play the number 2 seed, Dodgers. Mets win, they play the Dodgers. Pirates pull the mild upset as a 6 seed. They go to number 1 Cincinnati. And then Atlanta would go to the Dodgers. So those are the scenarios in the National League. Break up the Atlanta Braves. They took care of a very plucky expansion team, the Arizona Diamondbacks, and beat them 3 games to 1. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.